Hello, Modern Royalty Podcast Tribe. It's Princess Sarah Culberson. And today I interviewed Princess Nejla from Jordan. She has an interesting family life.
My grandmother, she was from the Ottoman family, actually. She was basically the granddaughter of the last ruling sultan.
And you'll get to hear about the jewelry that she makes out of her vision of energy that goes out into the world.
My best sellers are the eyes, the evil eye.
Yeah. The protection, the eye of protection. Yeah. So stay tuned for this episode. You're going to love it.
What you're born into does not define you. It's our actions.
Princess Nejla, thank you so much for being with us today on Modern Royalty Podcast. I'm so excited. What time is it there right now?
It's 7:16
in the evening. Okay, and it's about
It's evening here.
9:16 in the morning here in Los Angeles. I love it.
Love the time difference.
I know. So thank you for being on here.
Thank you so much for having me, Princess Sarah. It's really an honor to be here and to connect with you. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being on the show with us. So I want to start by learning about you and what your childhood was like, what you liked to do for fun as a kid, what it was like growing up in a royal family.
It was very normal, actually. My dad was very artistic and he's a very spiritual person. He's very deep. So we always connected on that. He always tried to make me see beyond appearances. So he would always ask me questions like, what do you feel? Like the energy. We would talk about energy at such a young age and art and beauty. So I think that's where my artistic side came from. And my mom, on the other hand, is Circassian, from Circassian roots. And they were, like warriors, fighters. And they were very disciplined and very, politeness was so important and discipline. And so I think that balance was really shaped our personalities, or my personality specifically, like growing up. So there was always like this very nice, interesting balance between these two really different dimensions.
Yeah. So you had one side, your dad was very spiritual and had energy of all about your energy. And your mom was more from this warrior family, which is kind of cool. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, very cool. Actually, their stories are like my grandfather and how they came and when they made that the move, and all their stories was very, very interesting.
That's beautiful. So did you have any responsibilities as you were growing up being part of a royal family? And I wonder that because I've talked to a lot of different royal folks from around the world, and sometimes there are certain ways that you have to behave, certain roles, certain responsibilities. So I'm wondering about that for you.
Yeah, we were always taught, obviously, to be very polite, to say hi to our the elderly. We have to go to them. We have to go say hi to them. Respect was very important, to respect, especially the old, the elderly in the family. And even that was something we were always, my mom and dad, they were very strict with, but we were very disciplined. We had obviously chores. We had to tidy our room. We had to clean. We had to. My dad always said, what you're born into does not define you. So you have to make a name for yourself. What you work for, what you do with your life, how you decide to carry your name is up to you. It's not what you're born with, or that privilege that you're born into. So that stuck with me. And I always said, okay, I really wanted to make, who am I as Nejla? Who's Nejla? What do I want? Who am I? What am I? And that's where I was always drawn to jewelry, and I always felt that was my way of expressing myself as an individual, and yeah, that's how I started, I feel.
I love that. I love what you said about your father saying, you've been born into privilege, but it's your job to choose who you are, show who you are in the world. I love that. What an incredible person. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
he always said that. Like, you need to make a name for yourself. And that's true. And now, actually, lately, I've been getting. I mean, of course, I honor my heritage, and I'm proud of where I come from. And there are traditions, and you have to like our traditions and our values. You have to stick to. But I also really enjoyed lately. Being known for being a jewelry designer. So it was very not like they'd introduce me. They're like, "Oh, you're the jewelry designer." I'm like, "Yeah,
You're
I'm
that
jewelry
one in the
designer."
family. Wait,
Yeah, so that was fun.
I love that.
That's nice.
When you talk about traditions, and I definitely want to talk about your jewelry too, but when you talk about traditions and cultural traditions, can you share a little bit more about that? I'd love to our listeners to learn about the cultural traditions in Jordan or in your
Our
family.
tradition. Yeah, we get together often, like every week, once a week, like the whole family. We get together, we meet up, and during Eid, during Ramadan, we always have iftar together. We when we break our fast, and iftar is breaking our fast together as a family. I think these small, like visiting each other, is a very beautiful, and we're very close. Like here in Jordan, at least our family, we're all so close. Like we visit each other often, we see each other.
I think a lot of cultures do that, but sometimes in America, I feel like we're all running so often that we forget to take time to pause and be with each other. Or maybe I
Yeah.
need to pause more in my family. Maybe I shouldn't speak for all of America, right? But
Yeah. No, it's really important. I feel even like my aunts would get together and do the ma'moul for Eid, like the date sweets. We get together on the table, and the night before we just sit and we make them and just talk. And I feel like these really simple, basic traditions are really, really
they're so beautiful.
essential.
No,
Yeah, they're
say
so
that
beautiful.
again, what it's called. What did you say? The word?
Ma'moul.
Mamul?
It's a ma'moul. It's the sweet. It's like it's made out of smeed, which I don't know what smeed is in English, but it's like dates, like pureed dates. We remove the seed, and then we shape them. There's a special machine, and we small like a cutter, or
Yes.
like a, yeah, and then we just sit there, and my aunt's really great at it, but we try to be helpful as helpful, but she's really, really good, and she makes the best ma'moul.
Oh, those sound amazing. And do you have these regularly? Are they for certain holidays or you have them all the time?
Mainly holidays, even Easter. During Easter, a lot of the Christian families, they also have ma'moul, and they make it at home, and they gift it, and it's really, yeah, we have it during holidays mainly.
That's
But it's there
beautiful.
always. Yeah, but
Tell me, I know this is very important to you being a mother. Can you tell me a bit about being a mother, a little bit about your children and your incredible husband? And
yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my husband is very supportive, and he helped me. He's supportive, but at the same time, he gives me my space to do, like, to make my own decisions. He's not like to, yeah, he, like, for example, I did my IG, like a course in Dubai. I left for like 3 months, and he's like, you go, you do your thing. And I took my daughter with me. She was a year and a half then. So I feel like that space and the balance is what makes it really like work for us. He's very, like, he really, really, he's my biggest supporter. And my girls, I have 3 girls. They're my little squad, my little girl gang. He's surrounded with a lot of female energy, so he's very lucky. And they are my blessings. They taught me, actually. They're a big part of my journey with my jewelry and all that, because they really taught me how to like take care of my inner child. I would look at them and I'd be like, wow, this inner child in us is something that we really need to like nurture and give and like really really take care of. Yeah. And the, the happiness, the innocence, I learn from my kids. They're my biggest teachers. I feel like this is something we really lack nowadays, that innocence, that peace, that happiness, like pure joy. So yeah, and I want to show them, and by example, that they need to really follow their dreams and create a world for themselves where they feel really happy, and where they can really dive into like their own world, like really take care of it, their inner child, and their well-being, their happiness, for as long as they can.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying. I've worked with young people and students. I used to be a director at a school and work with students because I love
No
them.
way.
I was actually traveling with a book that I
Amazing.
co-wrote, and
Yeah.
and they said, "Do you want to work here part-time? And can you take the students to West Africa?" But what I want to say is working with those students for the number of years that I did was the most valuable learning experience for me of my life. They are so brilliant, the best teachers, exactly like you said. They are the best teachers. And
We really are.
and I think what you said about our inner child, I think so often we kind of become adults and we get busy and we forget about that part of ourselves that's so special and important. And I do work with my little inner Sarah. I'm like, you're allowed to come out and play. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to cry. No, because we forget about that. I think as adults and leaders in certain ways, or business owners, or whatever we do, we forget that beauty of innocence and play that I feel like kids teach us. So I love it.
100%. That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, are your kids, I wonder how you manage, what are the age of your children?
I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and my youngest is 1 year and 9 months.
Oh my gosh. So you've got little ones. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have to deal with social media a lot, or do you with them? Are they on it? I just wonder how you manage that with kids these days.
Not on it yet, although they really love Roblox, and I try to control how, like, I'm like, you don't talk to strangers, you don't talk to someone you don't know. It's like, so I really monitor what they watch. And
oh my goodness. Hello. Who is this who's joining us?
That's Shaima.
Hello, Shaima. It's great to see you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wait, see, I want to hear everyone's voice.
Oh, hey, hi. They're asking to watch now.
Oh, so they want to be
you're allowed to do anything right now.
They heard their names, so they said, we're coming into this too. We want to be part.
I tried to tell them when they come back from their play date to like stay up, but that didn't work.
No, it's wonderful to see them. It's just beautiful. People who might be listening on other platforms, you definitely have to go to YouTube and check this out, because you have to see these amazing, powerful, beautiful, generous young ladies who just came in camera. What a special gift.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I love that. I love that.
So yeah, I try to keep them off social media and as long as I can, but eventually, because when they're all on it, and it has its positives as well, like us connecting and connecting with Princess Johara.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really, really nice. You get to meet amazing people and get to show your work and share the things you believe in. And it's an amazing platform and tool.
Yes. And I'm so grateful to Princess Johara for connecting us. How do you two know each other? I never asked that.
We met through social media, actually, through Instagram.
Isn't that amazing? That's the thing about connections, right?
Right. Yeah, that's why I said I really have to mention it. Like it's really amazing how you connect with people, and we just gravitated towards each other online, and she's like, I love your work, and she was so supportive. And I said, she's amazing, she's incredible, and she's
She
such a
is.
like hardworking, woman empowering, and all that. Like she really, I felt like all the love from her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very special. She's very special. I know you also went to Dubai to go to school for your higher education. Can you share a little bit about that and what you studied?
Yeah, Dubai is a very vibrant city. It's amazing. It really helped. It's really made me realize that, because there's so many entrepreneurs, startups. It's really like happening. And at the same time, they really also value their like culture, and they hold on to it at the same time. So it was very nice to see that balance and to learn that there's great energy there. There's really, really great energy. At the same time, they work so hard, and they manage to socialize as well and meet new people. And it's so diverse. It's such a diverse city. And like some of my really close friends I've met there, and they're my friends till today. And we're really very close. And it really I feel like it's such a hub for many, for everything. And you can really, there's a market for everything in Dubai. I feel like there's so much to do and see. And I have family there, so it was really nice having family there helped me so much.
What were you studying?
Media, social
Media.
media communications. Yeah, I studied media communications.
That's right. Media communications. This whole social media. I love it. I love that. Well, that's the way people connect anymore. It's an incredible way. I've connected with a lot of royalty from around the world through media and other ways, and friends. And it's just been kind of interesting through social media. But I also want to ask you about your carving that you studied in Florence, Italy. Now that I'm wowed by. I need to know all about that. How did you say, I want to start carving in wax? Like, where did that idea come from? Tell me about this. It sounds amazing.
I always loved working with my hands. It's very therapeutic for me I feel like working with my hands, even before when I was younger, like doing the beads and gathering stones and like old rosaries lying here and there, I would take them and I would like redo them. So I was really interested, like how do you carve the actual shape of like the pendants and rings and all that? And how did they make them? They managed to carve them so lightly. And like, if you go a bit too deep, it would go through. Like you had to be very, very intricate with wax carving. It was amazing and very therapeutic for me. Like I really enjoyed that part of the course in Florence. So yeah, Florence is a beautiful, beautiful place. It's really, really magical. You'd feel like everyone there, regardless of their job and what they did, they were all somehow artistic. You'd walk in a shop and the owner would have like an easel at the back with paint, and it's like rich in history and art. And I really enjoyed my time there and my course.
Did this get you started with the jewelry? So you were learning how to carve in wax to then make your jewelry. Is that what it? Yeah. That's why you went.
Yeah. You carve the mold in wax, and then they teach you how to use the right tools and all that, and then you dip it into the metal and the gold, and then then the wax. That's how you get your piece, your metal piece out of gold or silver.
I love it.
We did ours at silver. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your jewelry. I mean, I'm assuming you're wearing it right now. Are you wearing some of your jewelry right now? Because it's gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, those are hand painted. Actually, my best sellers are the eyes, the evil eye.
Yeah, like eyes. The protection, the eye of protection.
Yeah. And my name, ironically, means in Arabic the wide eye. Nejla. Nejla means wide eye.
Really?
Yeah.
I love
so that. Was ironic. Yeah.
And you hand paint all these, or do other people paint them? How does this work?
No, those are hand painted in India, actually, on mother of pearl. And I have this
Wow.
he's an awesome guy. Actually, he hand paints all my jewelry on like mother of pearl, and then we close them up, because I was thinking, okay, how can we protect it without, people sometimes forget to take their necklaces off when they shower and all that. And so we added like a crystal quartz on top, and then I bring them here, and even this like lapis hand of Fatma, carved. It's also carved in India. I like to find like special like stones, hand painted, hand carved, like this raw, really authentic, handmade material, and I bring I ship them, and then I create here in my workshop. I add the gold and the diamonds, and I draw it, and we sketch it, and it goes through the whole process.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. And does everything have a different meaning? You said the hand. There's a hand there that
Yeah.
you have right there.
Yeah, it's very like traditional. It's like part of like, oh sorry, this sound. It's like part of the tradition. It's all like based on protection, all that. But actually, it's because turquoise and the eye, the belief is it protects. It's because they say that it draws the attention. So when you see something blue and bright, you just automatically your eye goes to it, and that's where the protection against the evil eye came from. So people's eye directly goes to the color or
Oh, that's
the
so
bright.
interesting. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I remember when I was in Greece, years ago for a friend's wedding, and the eye was in a lot of shops. It seems like there are a
Yeah.
lot of different countries that embrace the evil eye for
Yeah.
protection.
Yes. Turkey, Greece, and the Arab countries as well. Some people are not. Some people think that it's that we don't believe in the protection. It's not about belief. It's for me. It's more about culture. It's not whether I believe it protects me or not, but I feel like it's cultural. I love the eye. The eye is like when they say it's the window to a person's soul. That's true. I do believe that. That's why I'm drawn to eyes.
Oh, yeah. And when we see each other, that's what we connect with usually first. We see each other's eyes and so on.
Yes.
Are there certain cultures that have influenced your jewelry? Is it your culture? I know you've talked about India a lot. It seems like India's made a big difference in your ideas with jewelry as well.
Yeah. I love the Indian culture. I feel like it's so rich. It's such a rich culture. And their workmanship, and they have that amazing workmanship that I'm really, really fascinated by. So I'm drawn to that authentic artistry with everything, even their materials, their colors, and how they celebrate even Diwali is really like the pop of color and celebration of color is fascinating for me. I do appreciate all cultures, actually.
So I want to ask you another question. I know that you are an avid traveler, and I'm wondering what's your favorite place that you visited, and where do you hope to visit in the future?
My favorite place. I haven't admitted that to anyone yet, but I'm gonna share this with you. I actually have a very big fear of flying, but I love traveling, and I managed to travel. But I'm working on it. I'm working on getting over it, to experience life and all that. But
what do you do? What do you do to help you with that? Because there are so many people who are terrified of flying. Is there anything? Do you meditate? Do you take? Is there medicine? What do you do to get over that?
I meditate. I do meditate. I read, my prayers, and I recently learned a new technique called the TAT, the tapping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've been working on that with my therapist. He's amazing. So he helped me a lot with the whole tapping thing, and it calms me down, and it helps me out a lot.
So you tap in certain places on your body to help you relax.
Yeah, and it's the stories you tell yourself, and I've been learning a lot about that. So really, nothing should stop you. You should really get over your fears and help yourself. And it is the stories we tell ourselves, and we travel. We
Right.
get on the plane and we travel.
So is there a place that your favorite place that you've been thus
Yeah.
far?
We used to go every year to Spain every summer. Like Spain was a must, and we used to spend the entire summer vacation there. So for me, Spain is really a second home. I feel like we gained a language, we gained a culture, and the people there are just amazing, and the food is great. And yeah, I really really love Spain, and I miss it. Like when I don't go there, if I don't go there for whatever reason, I feel like something is missing. Like I feel connected to that place. And Turkey, because my grandma is buried there. My grandmother, she was from the Ottoman family, actually, and so she chose to be buried there with her siblings and her family. So I feel like also like I have that very strong connection to Turkey as well.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the Ottoman family? Can you say more about that?
Yeah, she was basically the granddaughter of the last ruling sultan. So she was her name was Sultana Mehrima. And it was kind of arranged, her marriage to my grandfather. And it was very funny because she was beautiful, she was gorgeous, and she spoke like 7 languages, and she was very she was into art, and she spoke 7 languages, and she was very elegant. She was a very, very extremely elegant person. She met my grandfather through a photograph, and then she always jokes that when she met him in person to see him, she's like, I agreed to meet him and to see him because he was very handsome in the photo, but then he turned out to be super short. So that was so disappointing.
Oh, that's so funny.
Joke about that. She's like, when I saw him, he was really short. They were so sweet. Bless their souls. Yeah.
Oh, was your grandfather? So tell me about your grandfather, because she was married to him. It was arranged. So
Yeah.
what family was he part of to have her be married to him?
He's my father's father. So he was the son of King Abdullah the First. Yeah, he was his son. So it was kind of arranged, but they fell in love obviously when they met each other and all that. And the one thing I remember, because I didn't meet my grandfather, but my grandmother, we had a very very close relationship, actually very close, and she said that they really respected each other. So they had like respect and love, and they, you know how they were they had like they went by their values and morals, and he always knew that she was the daughter of the sultan, and so he always felt like he needed to take care of her because she wasn't from Jordan, and he felt like responsible for her happiness, kind of. So they had a very sweet relationship.
That's
Yeah.
so sweet. How
Yeah.
beautiful. Do you know what some of their responsibilities were in the country? Do you know what they had to do as leaders? You might not know because of your grandparents.
No,
yeah.
It was a different
Different time.
times. Yeah, definitely different times.
Yeah.
But she was very loving, and she would sit there and like cross stitch, and she would always tell me, only me, what she was doing. She would never tell anyone. She's like, this is our secret, and I would actually not share it with anyone. I kept that secret.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah. My mom used to cross stitch as well. I love cross stitch. I'm actually not that good at it because I have to move so much that sitting and being that patient I'm not the best at it, but it's such a beautiful thing to cross stitch. I love that. So what's next for you on your horizon? What's happening with you as a businesswoman? And I want to ask you what's next.
Yeah, what's next? I really feel now like I want to expand my business. I feel like I want to take it out. Maybe I was considering Saudi, Dubai, somewhere maybe in Europe, States. So yeah, I really do want to take it like out. Like I want to expand in that with work, and I'm working now on a line that I feel really like, because like jewelry and design is a form of expression for me. So what you feel, it's an emotion that's gonna have to like come out somehow, and now at this point, it's I'm working on a collection that embraces like the heritage and our culture with the modern, like in a modern way, that's wearable. Because also jewelry, I feel, is like it can hold a memory. It's an energy, whether it's from the stones or whether it's handed down to us by our great grandma, which I have pieces from both my great grandmothers, and I feel like it's very, very personal. So yeah, I want to create something that gives that people might feel like they relate to in a way, and hopefully we'll get there, but also at the same time like focus on my family, and it's really fun that it's jewelry, and I have three girls because they're really into it now, and I can share that with them. They're like, they would sketch something and give it to me, and they're like, "Mama, make me this necklace." I'd be like, "Yeah, great, this is a great idea."
They'll probably come up with some wonderful ideas. I love, and that's so
Yeah,
wonderful to share that with them and have them just kind of
yeah,
like used to cross stitch with your grandmother and have that
yeah,
joy together. You get
exactly,
to share that with your girls, which is so
exactly, yeah,
special, so
yeah.
special. I like to ask people this, and especially people who are from families of leaders. I'd love to get your opinion on what it takes to be a great leader. What are some of the traits that you think it takes to be a great leader? And maybe your grandparents or parents have that in you as well.
Obviously, leading by example, I feel, is the most important trait, because this is what our kids pick up from us, and what we picked up from our parents, and what they picked up from theirs. So I feel like just being overall like a good person. They always like not. I remember my dad used to always say, always make sure you go to sleep with a sound conscious, like knowing that you never hurt anyone, you didn't wrong anyone, and that's, I feel, it's like you can be a leader in your own, like every person has his role leading someone. Like my house is my place, my space, and I feel like leading by example, and showing my kids what it means to be a good person overall is key, maybe. And yeah, you start. My mom used to always say that you start with your surrounding. It doesn't matter on like a bigger scale. It affects when you start small in your surrounding, in your home, with your people, the people you work with, the people who help you, who at home, and then society, and then the circle grows bigger, and that's how I feel like it can be very impactful.
Right. It ripples out from how you're leading by example. I love that. I love that. Also, as we close out, I have a question for you. And this is just whatever you think, your opinion. Um, Modern royalty. What does modern royalty mean to you in your words?
Modern royalty, I feel like it can be like honoring tradition while embracing the change or the world we're in today, because life and the world is constantly changing. So yeah, like honoring our tradition, and just understanding that titles or what you're born into does not define you, and it's our actions. Our action defines us. Who we are as a person defines us. What we stand for, what we make of ourselves, that defines us.
I love that. And are there any last words of encouragement or things that maybe your grandmother shared with you that you would love to leave with our listeners, or maybe something you tell your daughters that our listeners could tell their children? Just a
Uh,
thought.
uh, for me, at least now, my biggest lesson was like always start from somewhere, because my dream was always this, like becoming like having my own brand and my jewelry and all that. So it's very easy to procrastinate or to keep it off or to not like or think that it's far-fetched to get where you want to get. So I started with 4 pieces and that's how it grew. So I always advise people, even my friends, my daughters, my sisters, my brother, everyone around me. I always tell them, just start, just go for it and just dive into it and it will happen. It will work. It will eventually work out. You never know. You never know. Just go for it.
I love that. I love that. Because sometimes it's easy to go, okay, this is not working. We haven't made it yet. I want to stop. I want to give up. And I love
it's
that.
happened a lot. Like I've been put down so many times with work, especially. But you keep going. You keep at it.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much for being on
Thank
Modern
you.
Royalty Podcast and for sharing your beautiful spirit and your energy. It's so interesting. I've spoken to different people and energy is a conversation that so many people share. So
Amazing.
I love that when you said energy, you started off talking about your dad at the beginning of the call and how important energies are. And we're made up of so much energy. So the energy exchange is so important too.
Of course, it's everything. It's we're souls at the end of the day. Like the body, I feel like we're souls. We're made out of souls. So they actually they say that our souls meet before we do. So our souls meet before we think to ourselves, do I like this person? Why? You know what I mean? So like that's big. Like energy is it's everything.
I keep saying we're going to close out, but I have to say this. When you and I were on WhatsApp together, right? I could feel your energy. I was just like, you're so fun. I can't wait to meet you. And you'd put all these fun emojis. And I was like, yay, I can't wait to do an interview with you. But I got a sense of you and your kindness in your heart before we even got to talk. So I so believe that. And thank you for who you are and all the beautiful energy.
You're amazing. You are amazing. I love your energy. I was drawn to you from day one.
Thank
really.
you.
You inspire me. You inspire so many people, but me. I'm one of them.
That means a lot. You inspire me. It takes one to know one. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
Yes.